Hey, it's Dr. Mordecai, and thank you for joining me for itsdrmordecai.com, episode 24. On today, we're going to talk about fundraising. And don't ask me for money, and you haven't asked me how I'm doing. So let's get started. Let me tell you what I think is one of the most offensive things ever. So I've graduated from your institution. I haven't heard from you, but you better believe I probably by now have heard from Sally Mae or a federal student loan, this, that, or the other. I've heard from somebody and I'm paying somebody back. Then all of a sudden I get a call, I get a letter, I get an email that has you talking about, giving at a $5 level, a $15 level, a $50 level, maybe a $1,000 level. And you haven't asked me how I have been since I've left your institution. I feel personally that institutions make this mistake all the time, okay? They want to ask you for money. They want to talk about what tickets that they're selling to their gala. And I really think in the back of some folks' mind, they want to get you engaged. They truly want to get you back involved on campus. They truly believe that by offering a $5 level, it's just some level to get you involved back in the giving. And then as things progress, you will give more. But here's one of the things, a perspective that I want you, my fundraisers, to keep in mind. It's just a perspective. I'm not saying it's the truth. It's just something to keep in mind. Is that if you have not, or someone from your graduate office or graduation office or someone from the college or school that person has graduated from has not reached back out, taking a look at what jobs that they landed, celebrated their successes, their promotions, their new children, truly taking the opportunity to take a platform of the institution and celebrate them and their progress since graduation. You could totally turn off a donor if you do not take the chance to celebrate them. Now, times have changed, okay? If you truly take a hard look at who's showing up to these events, homecoming, football, you're probably seeing the new graduates. But take a look at some of these dinners, these fundraising dinners. At one point in time, you saw the class of the 60s. Then we saw the class of the 70s. Then we saw the class of the 80s. Now we're knocking on the door of 90s. And the interesting thing about this, late 90s, you begin to get into the student loan generation. So these are people that as you continue to progress, probably, and statistically speaking, will be giving a lesser amount of money as compared to previous generations. So I get it. $5 level, $10 level. It's a way to get started. I've heard of things talking about not fundraising, but resource raising, all these cool things. The one perspective I want to stay on today is this. Institution, before you ask me for money, before you send me the $5 pledge, have you asked what jobs I've landed? Have you celebrated me? Do you have an electronic newsletter where you've sent out the promotions and the new job assignments and the new births of your students and the graduates based on whatever school or program they graduated from? There's all these different creative things that you can be doing to celebrate your students. And I'm just saying, my perspective, I highly suggest that rather than asking them for money to buy this, to buy that, to give this, to give that, celebrate them. Really develop that relationship of them as a future donor. And next thing you know, once they feel celebrated and truly have this belief or this relationship that you are a part of their success, next thing you know, the $5 will show up, the $1,000 will show up, the $10,000 will show up. So before you ask me for money, ask me how I'm doing. You see my contact information below. I look forward to talking with you soon at itsdrmordecai.com.